that data can't be available to a public or to organization like us, Genpact, easily. They will not give. There's a lot of confidentiality on the patient data as well. Lack of skills internally in line of the business. So they don't have internal skills to do all this with this mix of analytics, mix of technology, mix of data access. On other side, what are the key problems they highlighted was, they said the key issue here is accessing the right data is one of the challenge which you face. Whether we are accessing the right data is one. Second thing is, they were worried about the investment they are making on data management side in terms of whether that investment is right, whether that is that will pay them money or maybe give them some benefit in coming years. They are worried about. They're worried about who is looking at the data, whether somebody is looking at the data after being analyzed, after you using a lot of investment on the big data, are we using it? That's the key challenge they highlighted. Okay, so this slide basically I just created to just give you an illustration on how different data sources are being amalgamated by pharma organizations to come up with some big data ideas, some basically ideas which might help in pharma organization for the strategic initiatives or with respect to its decision making process. As an example, let me pick one example. A clinical trial data. Thousands of patients given particular X drug during a course of 2 years, 3 years. The efficacy of or the treatment or the body parameters from the patient taken on an hourly basis or on a daily basis, analyzed with respect to the normal set of people, and then seeing whether the patient disease have been recovering, plus, minus, are there any side effects, adverse effects, and XYZ. That whole clinical information which is available. So that kind of data, one. Second is the payer performance or the insurance company data broadly, if I say. So those patients in real situation, they buying the drug, insurance company paying the money, insurance company having the data about how much the patient has actually consumed the drug, at what stages of life or in during course of this whole 4-5 years he have been changing medicine because physician has changed the prescription for all chronic diseases, for example. So that kind of data, second data source. And third is, on top of it, a company's own product sales data by physician, by patient, so or by a geography. So these three set of data, if it is available to a pharma company, which is clinical data, what is happening once the person take my drug? One. Second is, what happening on the finance side, whether I getting money, which kind of medicine patient is getting, and then relating that to the efficacy, what is happening to the ultimately to the patient. And third is, what is happening to my sales, which physician is giving me more business, which type of patient is giving me more business in terms of the actual profitability. Mixing all these three things in not in one form, but on a regular basis, on a long term, is what a lot of pilot pharma companies are working around, and triangulating this information, trying to use this information in a lot of the R&D initiatives, a lot of their marketing and sales initiatives, a lot of their campaigns, lot of and I don't know how many of you are aware of, for a pharma company or a life sciences organization, the major customers are not patients, it's not physicians. Now it is more of insurance companies. They have to do a lot of marketing. They have to sell their product to insurance companies first, and then to the physician, and then to the patients. That is how the market has been changing. Therefore, they need to sell that to insurance company. Okay, if diabetes is a disease, can you change your plan so that all patients on diabetes who has taken your insurance policy should take my drug, because I'll give you more rebate, I'll give you more discount, and parallelly it works. Therefore, I will have a different pricing for one insurance company versus second insurance company, again third insurance companies. So my objective of putting this slide was, it's a little complex to understand, but yeah, the point here is mixing all these three, four, five different data sets, what I am able to do out of it in terms of big data analytics is what is important. Companies are, as an organization, as an organization from Genpact side, yes, we are helping organization doing this kind of analytics now. As a pilot, as an ongoing process, this is what has been working around. Again, this slide is little cluttered, apologies for it, but my objective was to bring out what are the key applications of big data I have seen in pharma industry. I broadly categorized them in three major areas. One is commercial sales and marketing area. Second is on the drug development side, and third is discovery side. If you, although you can see on the first hand side, the first box, which is sales and marketing, is the huge one. I listed many things. Drug discovery is the lowest number point I mentioned. However, in terms of actual use, it is reverse. It is reverse. It has to be reverse. Current situation is this, where everybody is talking about the sales and marketing, using of big data on the sales and market side of it. However, as we go along, as companies try to will find the benefit of using big data analytics, they will try to use it more for the discovery phase as compared to the sales and market phase. So that is where it's all driving. Just to take some example out of it is, as a, maybe I would have mentioned few of them. Lot of economic studies, lot of health economic studies are now conducted where, and even government bodies like say for example in UK or Europe, if you are trying to approve a drug, the drug regulators are asking pharma companies, okay, tell me why I should approve your product. Why I should approve your product when already there is one other product available for this particular disease. Give me a proof. A pharma company, okay, I have proof that my drug was used in these number of set of patients. These are the benefits. A regulatory authority is asking, that's good. But then have you compared with the current treatment available? Have you compared with respect to price? Have you compared with respect to the what insurance companies are having? What have you looked into? What investment from government side will have to make if we approve your drug? Because the patient will maybe, I don't know, the price would be high maybe. I'll be from the government side, I'll be incurring more cost as compared to the low cost of the available treatment availables. So lot of economic studies are being initiated and is now mandate from authorities that you need to have health economic studies to be available for any new drug approval in Europe. In that case, organization, what they do is they have to conduct those studies. So there are many institutes available which help them in conducting this such studies. Many of them are same again the mini clinical trial process would be involved there, where you are looking at one drug XYZ, comparing patients' efficacy in a long run. Now a study can't be done for say 2 days. You give a drug and see the effect tomorrow morning. No, many of the disease might be such form, but many of the diseases are not such. Like say for example, all chronic disease or all heart related issues or the metabolic related issues are chronic, long term. Short term, yes, there are, like headache could be a short term. You could find the efficacy immediate next day. Okay, whether this drug has given me a mitigation from headache in 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours versus something which took me 5 hours. So health economics again is one of the biggest support and using a lot of big data there, where they are looking at huge amount of humongous amount of data on the clinical side, humongous amount of information on the health side and the insurance side. Amalgamate everything together to come up with an health economic studies, wherein ensuring and proving ultimately that if all patients in a particular country are using this drug, ultimately government will say this amount of dollars or euros. Okay, so I just took one example out of it, and there are a lot many. Let me pull one more good example out of here, which could be very relevant. Okay, One important thing, okay, let me pick something from R&D side now. On R&D, when you do an R&D clinical trial on patients, say for example, patients, not all patients are chosen for the clinical trial. There are a lot many inclusions and exclusion criteria for selecting a patient for doing trial. Now, as a lame person, you will say, why are you selecting patients? Are you doing some gimmick there? Are you selecting the right patient for a drug? But that's not the case. Why they're chosen is because your drug might be efficacious. You are trying to prove my drug is efficacious for a particular set of patients. Maybe patients who are in stage 2 of a particular disease, or in this age group, or maybe who have also this as a disease. So diabetes plus BP problem together. Now this is the patient, if given my drug is better compared to the other drug which is available. So in choosing inclusion and exclusion criterias, if you are choosing a wrong patients for clinical trial, again you are spending a money on a wrong, in a wrong way, in a wrong direction. Therefore, if I take the last 5 years trial data done by maybe 10 different companies for the same diet, say for example for the same indication like diabetes, and analyze what number of patients had these indications, what are the patient profile, which patients were selected and which were excluded. If I do this analysis in a very big way, I might come with my own algorithm. I say, okay, those patients which basically were chosen because of these parameters, these variables, have shown more efficacy and those trials were more successful, say for example. So a pharma company can use that information in selecting the patients in the right way then. Coming with those algorithms, building those algorithms again very customized, looking at the past data, looking at the current situation, looking also into the target you are trying to cater to. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, how am I on time? Okay, so I am done with my this presentation. Nothing more. I'd like to get questions. Yep.
Automobile market
Is not that?
is not like the automobile market. But can you say a little bit more why government would want to regulate which company can introduce one more drug in a market that's already flooded with say 3 products? We don't say Honda shouldn't launch a car with 4 doors and a sedan in this market, right? We let the market work itself out whether that particular new offering from Honda is competitive or not. So if there are already 3 drugs for a disease A and a company wants to introduce a fourth one, what's the driving logic behind the government saying whether they should or they should not?
Two reasons, two major reasons out for it. Again, broader reason. Let me pick. One is the commercial reason. The second one is on the scientific side of it, which is so as you know. Let me take the scientific side first. And government might approve, might not approve is another question. But let us take these two aspects. Scientific side. As we talk, lot many researches are going on. Even say for example, the most complicated thing which human being as an individual is not able to understand is his own body, right? Still many things are unknown. Why this happens? Why headache happens? Headache happens, that's fine, medicines available. But is there a way that I can stop headache? We are not able to understand why it happens. Maybe is there no mechanism to understand those complex things which happens in our body. So lot many things are going as a research, as an people are working, scientists are working on new things, new hypothesis, new mechanism, they are also building new algorithms, hypothesis to test. If I do this, what will happen? If I do this, what will happen? So on the R&D side, even if there are 4 drugs available in the market, there could be a case of 5th drug also, because of the scientific reason, because you are trying to test something which is not tested by these 4 drugs, or a mechanism which is not by tested or used by these 4 other drugs. So say for example, if I want to reach that door, I have many ways. I can climb, maybe run over these chairs. I can go this way. I can go this way. I can go this way. Every way has its own way and benefit and plus and minus. And that plus and minus might differ by patients also. Okay, so relating to question, I'm just relating this situation. So somebody might like to move this way, somebody might move that way. Ultimately, reaching a target is that curing a disease, curing a particular disease, or reducing the symptoms or whatever. How you are trying to address might be different. So a new manufacturer who is trying to build a new product might be trying different approach. He might say, okay, my drug is good, however in this situation it is good. This 4 drugs which are available are good in this 1, 2, 3 different situations. That is one clinical reason. Second reason is on the commercial side.
For a 5th company or a 4th company to enter the market with its product, even though 3 alternatives exist. So that's.
So let me come to the second topic, which will address your the question on the commercial side. In this pharma industry, what is happening is, for any new product, as compared to automobile, if you say, or any industry you take, there is no shelf life. So say for example, if you are manufacturing, say Maruti 800, let me just pick a very simple example, Maruti 800 was available in the market for almost 20, 30 years, 40 years. How much? Still, they are converted into Alto. Now Alto might be some other brand, okay, in coming years. So that brand will be available in the market for maybe 50 years, 100 years, and will still sell with few modifications. However, in pharma industry, that doesn't happen. There is shelf life, there is patent life. A pharma manufacturer can make profit because the product will become generic. Lot many competitors would be able to sell the same product because the product has become generic. Therefore, the leading pharma companies will be out of the market. They will not be able to sell the particular drug. Therefore, from commercial reasons, it become important for the same company who is leading in that product to think about what is the way I can again capture the same space again. I was a leader in diabetes. Say for example, I was having 5 medicine in diabetes. After 10 years, I might not be the leader because my product which I was selling, the same product, company like, just an example like Lupin or Ranbaxy or any other company is manufacturing at a lower cost, selling it at a lower price, and therefore grabbing the market space. So as a leader in diabetes space, what I should do? Okay, I'll ask my R&D team, can you think about some other mechanism of action for the same disease? I'll get an approval from FDA. It will take 10 years maybe, but I want a leadership in that category again back. So that's a commercial reason. Government will approve or not? Another question, whether government will approve that, will question you? Yes, they will question. They started questioning now. They started questioning whether, if there are already available 3 drugs in this space, why should I approve your drug? And therefore, lot many, as I said, pharmacoeconomic studies are conducted. Lot many clinical benefit studies are conducted, where your product, if you are saying if it is more efficacious, if it is more safer, the authorities will approve. If not, they have rejected also. I don't know whether I was able to address fully or not.
Given the context and the background very well. My question was very pointed. Why should the government or the FDA or whatever regulatory body get involved in approving or not? From a commercial standpoint, whether the drug has merit or not, that's absolutely in their hands. But if the drug is too expensive, the market will prevail. It will say that okay, there's a 5th alternative, but it's not cost effective.
Oh, so you are saying why it is regulated? Is that what you say? Yes. So why are they regulating it?
Why are they regulating the entry of 5th or 6th alternative?
Okay. So that's the dynamics of the whole life sciences industry. This is the only industry which I know which is purely regulated industry. It can't be made as per market situation or market demand model. It will not work here because it is related to health. It is sincere. It is basically serious business in a way. It can't be that I can allow anybody to sell any product in the market. No. And therefore, okay.
Obviously, it has to be
Correct. Sure. Anybody else? Good, no questions? Okay. You ask some question?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me mic?
So, are you started any analytics in big data side in Genpact for the clients?
No, come again, question?
Are you started any kind of analytics in a big data side?